Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Command Center, where we like to put our favorite commander, maybe even yours, front and center. And you know we can't do that unless we play those three devastating letters, EDH. What does it stand for this week, Hadoken?
What is this? Like, why do people keep... It's the same thing every week. It stands for excising diseased hardware. Jesus Christ. So check this out. We were talking amongst ourselves as we were deck building, and we were like, you know what? We make some pretty weird choices sometimes. But before we go into that detail, we need to give a shout out to one of our patrons.
That's right. We always want to give a shout out to a patron when they join the Mana Squad. And today we are shouting out who, Derek?
We're shouting out Kevin Reese and their favorite commander, which is Ayara First of Lockdwayne. Ayara's a dirty commander, so I like the way you play, because it is one of those things. It's bouncing off of life drain effects. You're getting it's the whole aristocrats thing, and especially in mono black, aristocrats has gotten to the point where every time I see one of those, I'm like, I'm not gonna kill it on sight just yet because it's gonna be a slow death. But then I blink for 2 seconds, look back, and my life total's at like 3. You got like 40 life, and I'm like, well, this is not going well for anybody except for you.
I missed my chance.
Yeah, everything's gone crazy, and IR even has card draw mixed in with the sack outlet. It's got a lot going on. It is an amazing commander.
For me, with this card, it's always on site. I even fight with my eye doctor. But anyway, we will keep this train moving. So we were talking about the way we build our decks, and you were like, you know what? Sometimes we make some pretty weird decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's cards that we slide in, that are pretty standard in our decks that maybe we should stop doing because they're not benefiting us, or they're very situational, but for some reason, it's like a crack habit. We just keep going to these cards whenever we build the 99. So we're going to go through the list here of our top 3 cards that maybe we need to start pulling to the side. Like, they're bad for us.
Like, we might need an intervention.
Exactly. Like, look.
It's not working.
It's not working. They do the Simpsons meme. They do the Marge Simpsons on Lisa. It's time for you to pack it up.
Time to log off.
So let's go ahead and go down. Who wants to start first?
All right. So I was going to start first, but I think I'm going to go ahead and just pass it over to you, Ken. So go ahead and hit us with your first one.
Okay, my first one is Derek is going first.
Okay.
Wow, what a coincidence. Now, mine was going to be Sed goes first, but we'll just start this. So my first card is one that I absolutely adore, and I try to put it in basically every blue deck, and it is Midnight Clock. Now, Midnight Clock is really good in a lot of decks. The problem is if you're not playing a deck built around instant speed, you're just going to end up shuffling your hand away when you don't want to. I get so excited to put little counters on this thing, though. I don't care. I've put it in every blue deck. I remember I played it in I had a Geist deck that I was playing for a while. Very little instant speed stuff that you wanted to do during your turn. And I found myself every game getting to a position where I had all this equipment I wanted to play, all this stuff, and I'm just shuffling it all away, drawing a new 7, and having to re-figure out what in the world I'm trying to do. It's a great card, but I will put it in everything because for that satisfaction of taking that little dice up every turn, because it's not just your turn, it's every turn. So it keeps me and my little goldfish brain engaged in the game. And then I just shuffle everything away and have to figure out a new strategy. So my goal is to play this only in decks that I feel like it fits and not currently in just putting it in everything.
Okay, for the first time, I think I actually have to say this. Derek, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard about.
You got my hopes up so much just now.
Oh my God, not only is it a mana rock, but it can peel you a fresh 7, and by the time it gets to your turn, you got about maybe 3, maybe 4 cards in your hand. You get a fresh grip. Are you kidding me? This is literally designed for every day. That's like saying, I don't want to put a Mirage Mirror. You know what? I'm not. What? Say it. Please take
I got
over.
you. I'm going to save the day. I get what he was saying. Derek plays at a different pace, and sometimes his deck does things that he's not ready for.
No, I like to move at a slow pace a lot of times. And sometimes that 4-turn clock, I still got a full grip of 7. I'm playing 1 card a turn. And then it just makes me sad because the opening hand I kept is just gone.
All right. So mine is also a blue card, but this is a creature. It's called Noble Benefactor. It's a 3-drop for 2 in the blue. So he's a 2/2. Somehow he's a cleric, whatever. Anyway, basically when he's put into the graveyard from the battlefield, every player gets to search their library for a card. You don't have to show it to anyone. You just have to go find a card and put it straight into your hand and then shuffle your library. That is dangerous. That is almost criminal. It's like, why am I aiding and abetting all of my opponents? Yeah, I get to go search for something, but they get to as well. And this is supposed to be a conversation piece, Like, hey, that guy's popping off over there. Good thing we can all go tutor. And that conversation never happens, and everyone just goes to find their combo pieces, and somehow I lose in like 2 turns later because I let everyone tutor.
This is the dumbest card I've ever seen. When there's cards,
it speeds
Playing
up the
this
game.
card is not very noble.
It speeds up the game.
when there's cards like Scheming Symmetry for a lot cheaper.
True.
This is the dumbest card I would put in the deck. I would not give anybody the option to go and get their most powerful piece.
Yo, the dude in the art looks like he can make some great tea though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
he can make the F out of some tea for sure.
Oh, Pinky's out most definitely.
100%. Little cup just sipping. Yeah,
He's kind of has the bag angle like Salt Bay almost too. Just
yeah.
But just drop that little T in there like that.
All right, y'all know I'm here to save the day, and mine is a blue card too. This card is called Desertion. Now, it sounds good on paper. It's a 5-card counter spell that if I counter the spell, I get your creature. But here's the problem. A lot of y'all creatures suck. Y'all have some trash creatures. So I'm sitting over here like, I can't wait till you play something big. I can't wait till you play something amazing. Oh, I'm going to play a 2-drop. I'm going to play a 3-drop. So at most, it's a 5-mana counter spell, which is the dumbest thing in blue. When blue hovers around 1 or 2 counter spells. So I got to sit here and hold on and just hoping that you play something game bustery. And I'm like, this is disgusting. So I'm sitting there like an idiot holding a 5-mana counter spell. Oh, my favorite is when I try to counter your commander. Oh, I'm just going to put it in command zone. Shut your mouth. That hole in your face.
Yeah, it doesn't work the way it used to anymore.
No.
Ken, this is happening twice in 2 videos. So I'm going to change mine. Mine was literally 5-mana counter spells was my next pick. And it was Desertion and Spell Swindle were from the 2 cards I was going to talk about. So for the exact same reasons, I want to put 5-mana counter spells everywhere. And then I get into a game and I'm like, I have to hold up 5 mana to interact. I can't do anything else. And all of my counter spells are 5 or 6 mana. What am I doing? So
Hold on. Let me tag in there for 2 seconds. And then Spell Swindle. Because the most dangerous spells are always under 5 mana. And then you like, I got to counter this for 5 mana to get 4 or 3 or 2.
But I can't stop putting it in decks. It's like the dream of someone casting a 10-mana spell and getting all these treasures.
But how rare does that happen?
It's never happened to me. Never, not once. No.
It's going to take a while. It's going to take a hope and a prayer, but it tends to happen for me.
Well, speaking of a hope and a prayer,
yeah.
My next pick. I cannot stop putting in black decks Tainted Strike and in green decks Berserk.
That's a pipe dream.
Now, there are very good cards, but the thing is, I'm not talking about running these cards in, like, pump up your creature attack. I play them specifically for the off chance that I can do it to one of my opponent's creatures and kill someone. Now, how many times has this worked? I think literally like once or twice in the last like 2 years.
You tried it on me one time.
Yes, and always I just hold them in my hand and I'm just like, I'm gonna wait for the perfect moment. I'm gonna wait, and then I just hold it the entire game and end up just blowing it to like do 3 infect to someone and cry, or like Berserk and I kill some random. They're good cards, but almost similar to Midnight Clock, I put them in all the wrong decks just because I have so much fun with them that the level of like actual impact I'm having wasting a card slot is basically 0 for most of the decks I played in. I mean, I run Berserk in Titania right now. It has like 7 creatures, and I'm not gonna use it on Titania or an Elemental, and it's just there waiting for like the once a year chance I have to kill someone with it.
Yeah, very situational. I definitely understand that, get that sentiment. So another situational card that I have and usually end up on the wrong side of the situation with this card. So this isn't a 5 CMC counter spell, but it's a 3 CMC power spell with a possibly sometimes a drawback. But Perplex says that you can counter target spell unless the controller decides to discard their hand. It also has a cute little thing, transmute for a blue and 3. One a blue and a black, which does come in handy sometimes, but most of the times I really want to use this Perplex as a counter spell. And I tend to run into situations where opponent does not mind discarding their hand to let the spell resolve, because by the time I get it off, they probably have like 2, maybe 3 cards in their hand. They might just be stuff that's like lands or stuff that's situational in their hand. So sometimes it works, most of the times it doesn't.
And I'm a petty a-hole, so I throw my cards to the wind every time. I don't care. I'm
like, why did I just waste this card? I just paid 3 mana for nothing. For nothing. It countered itself.
Well, at least Ken has no cards left in hands to throw at you after. That's always important.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna redraw with my midnight clock that you don't want to put in decks.
Kid, what you got next?
All right, Owen's coming to the stage. I hate that I have to trash this card because it's so situational. Arcane Lighthouse. Basically, it removes Hexproof and Shroud. But you know what the problem is? None of you savages out there play with Hexproof or Shroud. Like, I don't see Greaves no more. I don't see the boots no more. And
It's all about protection and war, baby.
And I sit there and I be like, okay, and I have it in my hand, like, and then I'm sitting there, nobody's playing anything that's the. So now I got a mana rock that I don't even want to use. And I'm sitting there like, this is stupid. Arcane Lighthouse.
Yeah,
It shines the light on how dumb I am for putting this in my deck.
I recognized it from the day one when the card came out and I put it in. I was like, this isn't working. This isn't working.
Ken, we're on the same page again on this. I also picked a land.
Okay.
Or a land cycle for lands that I need to stop playing, and I will eventually. And they're the man lands. So these are I forgot what set they were initially in, but these are the ones that come into play tapped, and you can pay like 4 or 5 mana to turn them into creatures.
Okay.
And I know they probably see play in other formats or whatever. I cannot tell you, I think other than in my Noyan Dar deck, I have never once turned one of these into a creature. Not once. So I'm basically just playing Guild Gates in all of my decks. And I don't play 3, 4, 5 color decks. I play 1 and 2 color decks. So a basic would be infinitely better. So I am purposely playing these slow tap lands that I refuse to activate their abilities on for literally no reason.
Wait. So you mean like the new ones, like the Hydra, the
No. Those can come in untapped. I'm talking about the old ones. So like Celestial Colonnade, those types. Some Lava Pit. There's the red one is something Lava Pits.
Yeah,
Lava Claw something. I don't know.
Celestial Lemonade. I remember that one.
Yeah, all those. So the thing is, they always come into play tapped. You're paying a bunch of mana to turn them into a creature, and the creatures are kind of like meh in Commander. So I'm literally choosing to play slow lands that I have access to basic lands, and I refuse to stop putting them in because I'm like, that art's kind of cool. Ooh, there's a shiny one. I'm saying it right now. I'm going to eventually start taking these out of decks.
I'm going to pay 5 mana for a 2/3 land.
Like, literally, though. It's a decision I'm never proud of, but I can't stop making. All right, Sid, what is your last pick here to...
All right, so this one, I don't know how controversial this is. I don't pay attention to the discourse all the time, but I feel like this needs to be brought up because Kyle actually brought this one up to me and said that I need to stop playing it. And I was like, Kyle, you're crazy. Go home. Take the hat off. Drink some water. Like, what's going on? You're delusional. Brainstorm.
Ooh. Okay.
On the surface, it sounds like, hey, I pay 1 blue, I get to draw 3 cards. However, you draw those 3 cards, and you have to put 2 of them back on the top of your library. And 11 out of 10 times, I'm putting back 2 cards that I'm like, I don't even want these cards in my hand. Now I'm going to see them over the next 2 turns on the top of my library. I feel like I need a midnight clock just to get these out of the way, draw them real quick, get them out of the way, shuffle up my something. Like, when I put these 2 cards back on my library, they should go at the bottom of the library.
It's like a one-time Sensei's Dividing Top.
I will say strong agree on this. I think, like, unless you play a bunch of fetch lands or shuffle effects, in Commander, I don't think it's super great. Like, I'd rather run, like, Anticipate or Telling Time or the ones where you can, like, put 1 to hand, 1 on bottom, or, like, and they're not 1 mana, but you can actually get rid of what's on top. Whereas, you can just Brainstorm lock yourself for 2 turns, especially if this is your only card draw. That feels terrible.
Or how about you just run Ponder?
Ponder's good.
Exactly, and I ponder why you don't keep Midnight Clock in your deck when it's doing so much damage.
I run it in some decks, just not all of them.
Jesus Christ.
All right, what do you got? What do you want to be wrong about next game?
Last but I've never been wrong in my life. Last time I checked, 1 + 1 was 3. So anyway, last but not least, it's another land because lands are very consistent in my deck, especially these. I like getting stuff for the free ski, cheap 99.
Yep.
So I play a lot of hideaways. There's one in particular that has been effing me ever since. It's called Spider Rock Null.
You will sit on this one for a minute.
You will sit for. Sometimes I just take the card under it and exile it because I know I will never play in that game. You know how hard it is, how hard it is to take 7 damage without being killed. If there's somebody doing more than 7 damage, most of the time they try to kill you.
Yeah, the way attacks work in Magic are little creatures coming in, chip damage, or I'm throwing a whole table alpha strike at you.
And what ticks me off is like they won't throw, and if it is 7 or more damage, it's never to my opponent, so I can activate. It's to me. I'm like, I got a blocker here. Yeah, but I know you ain't gonna block with it. Look, you freak. You freak. Just attack them so I can get this free card. You know what the free card is most of the time? It's a land most of the time. It's or a 2-mana creature. And then I'm sitting there like, this hideaway is the dumbest. Mars Ward, the green one.
Bridge.
Yeah, Mars Ward Bridge I can do ad nauseum. I can actually bounce that land a couple of times to get a bunch of free stuff. The blue one, I can even do that one religiously. This one, dear sweet God, it is so hard. Oh, I'm gonna swing for 5. Can't you put a little more oomph into that?
You know what? I'm gonna increase the power on your creature just so I can take more, just so it can deal more damage.
Or you should play Berserk.
I've done Teamer Battle Rage just so I can get something to double strike and trample, just to get the 7. And then you know what I did? Accidentally tapped the red mana. I need to tap this card. So I was sitting there like, I self-imposed myself in a corner for that. This is the dumbest thing.
I can't disagree. As bad as I want to, I cannot disagree.
Okay.
So, what are the cards that y'all think you should play less of? Where are you on the midnight clock
but you just can't keep putting it in there.
You can't stop.
I
Can't
will
stop,
say
won't
this.
stop.
Some of y'all need to stop putting these $1,000 cards in there just to flex up people. Derek, you put a Gaia's... Hold on. I need to smell... Y'all need to smell me right now. This man put a Gaia's Cradle in a deck that had 2 creatures. I'm sitting there looking at him like, what are you smoking right now?
To be fair, I paid nowhere near $1,000 for that thing, so I don't consider it like that.
To be fair.
I bought it back in the day before everyone decided Magic was an expensive hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
yeah,
what are
there's
cards-
definitely cards out there that we all are putting in our decks that we should probably stop. Like, I'm surprised you didn't bring up Temple of the False Dog.
No. Temple of the False Dog goes the difference. That always stays in there. But I'll tell you one of these Homeward Path. How often is people taking your stuff? Like, I used to slot that in religiously because, like, somebody used to play, like, a rating.
You used to play Homeward Path because of me.
Yeah, because people kept taking my stuff. And then, since then, nobody's been taking my stuff.
Yeah. I'm gonna even add Ristic Study to this list just to be bold. Just to be bold. We're
I
gonna
refuse. I've not played Ristic Study in a deck in like 2 years, and I own like 2
Ristic
copies
Study.
of it.
Is it
Never.
time? Is it time?
I hate Ristic
Is it time?
Study so
Ristic
much.
Study.
I don't know what they talking about.
It's the most annoying card. I know. I scratch that. Smothering Tithe is the single most annoying
See,
card. in
that's
Commander.
just hate speaking.
But
that is just
Ristic
pure.
Study's a close second.
First of all, Smother Tide never hurt nobody. All right, it is the only advantage that the white cards actually have. Green has card draw, mana, everything. Blue you can just play things for free. Red is gonna murder you. Black, raise the dead. They ain't got nothing out there.
Ban
All right.
Smothering Tithe. But
All
let's
right.
go back. What do y'all think of all the picks that we had? What do you think is the most controversial one? Which one do you think is actually a staple that we're wrongfully cutting?
And if you don't want to heed our advice and get any of the cards that we mentioned, why don't y'all check out affiliate link at the bottom, TCG. You can help out yourself, your local LGS, and yourself, your local LGS, and us at the same time. And of course, while we're playing fresh, we gotta look fresh. And how you gonna do that?
We're gonna eat fresh at Subway.
No, that ain't eating fresh at all. Jesus Christ, you know how long that bologna been in that back freezer? The bread was made on Tuesday, and it is officially Saturday.
But anyway, I think that my
I'm sorry. Let me get this off.
We're actually going to do it.
Subway needs to change their slogan to just eat.
We love you, Into the AM. We want to dress fresh. We go to Into the AM, not Subway. And they have the most comfy, amazing, fresh clothing you could ever have. Because something about screaming and dripping in space, right?
yeah.
It's they can't hear you scream unless they see you eating that Subway. They can feel your pain.
Cut.
How much watery can that tomato be?
Just cut it.